when you think of how much the world needs to change, it can be really overwhelming. And so the last several years, I've been working on being the change that I want to see in the world. I've been working on addressing my own internalized patriarchy, my own will to dominate, my own codependent, hierarchical ways of interacting with the world, in relationships. I've done a lot of work learning to love without owning somebody, on building non-sexual intimacy with men, and women, and non-binary people. Like, yeah, we live in a society. We live in a society that prioritizes sex and sexual relationships over everything. And there's just so much more to human life. And I feel like men get it the worst, honestly. When it comes to sex being the only way you can interact with people, men have that message shoved down their throats the most, gay and straight men. But in this like third wave feminist hookup culture, women are doing it too. And raise your hand if you're fulfilled. Greetings. My name is Ashley Gemini, and I am here to read bell hooks in my lingerie. Specifically, I'm reading The Will to Change, Men, Masculinity, and Love by Bell Hooks. Copyright 2001? Yep, 2004. So no. This is just the intro. This is an intro to a series. I've read this book 3 times now. And I keep reading it and rereading it with the question in my mind, how do we love men? Like, honestly. I keep thinking to myself, men are people. They're definitely human beings, right? But I don't know, it's just really hard to connect to them. Meanwhile, I'm going to be taking out my twist. That's why this is just the intro. In the actual series, I am reading it in my underwear because I grew up in the 90s, and one of the main messages that I received as a woman is that unless you appear to be sexually attractive, men are not going to listen to you. And I need men to listen to what's in this book. I don't need it, but it would be nice. I feel like Bell Hooks makes a lot of really good points about why it's so difficult to love men. And the answer is because it's difficult for men to love. And why is that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because you're emotionally castrated at very, very young ages. We're not even talking about circumcision. We're talking about emotional castration. We're talking about the once widely accepted parenting style of don't baby your boys. Like, as soon as you can stand it, stop giving your male children the love and support that they as human beings need. Before I go any further, I want to make the major point. This is so paramount, is that men are not the problem. Men are not the problem. Patriarchy is the problem. Men really are people. Like, I started reading this book the first time with the mindset, with the conclusion that men are just trash. Like, there's no hope for them. There's no saving them. There's no help for them. And I was like, I just don't want to give up. Can you teach me how to love men, Bell Hooks? Because loving women is easy. Loving a woman is like pouring water onto lush, fertile earth, It's like watering a plant. You give love to a woman and you see like visible changes in the topography of who that woman is. And like, they just soak it up. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. If you're a woman who has exclusively dated men and then you date a woman, you're like, is this why men are obsessed with us? Like, women are gorgeous. We're so much fun to love. But as a man, patriarchy, not biology, not biology, patriarchy teaches men that they have to be these hard, fucking unfeeling, just work, 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 work. That's all men are good for. It's like work and sex, and that's not true. Some of the greatest artists of all time have been men, and yet we live in a culture where artistic boys are bullied for being too soft, right? So again, men are not the problem. Patriarchy is the problem. Specifically psychological patriarchy. Shout out to Khadijah Mbowe. Khadijah, you win. You fucking win. She did a video on toxic masculinity and how really it's psychological patriarchy that's the problem. Psychological patriarchy is nested within structural patriarchy, but psychological patriarchy is where we have the whole idea behind some things are masculine and some things are feminine, and everything feminine is gay. It's like unacceptable. And I say gay, first of all, I am gay, so it's fine that we say it. I'm panamorous, you know. The term pansexual is more appropriate than the term bisexual for me. One of my paramours is actually trans. Love them. Literally, my body has a physical reaction just thinking about them. And they are neither really man nor woman, and that's fine. And I've always been fascinated and aroused by gender fuckery. Oh, please let me have my scissors. Yes! We call these fairy knots. It's when your hair literally ties itself into a knot. We blame it on the fairies. Speaking of fairies. No! Speaking of fairies. Homophobia is just misogyny. It's all it is. It's not misogyny in disguise. It's just misogyny. Men are fine. Men are people. When I was studying clinical psychology at the doctorate level, I realized that babies are just people who haven't been fucked up yet. You know, men aren't born with toxic masculinity. It is, I think, just my opinion here, I think that toxic masculinity is the result of what happens to all people when you strip them from their capacity to access emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? It's the ability to recognize your own feelings and feelings in other people. And emotional literacy is being able to articulate those things and respond to them in an empathic manner, or in an actively abusive manner. You know, if you're doing it on purpose, that's one thing. But a lot of people are fucking abusive as fuck, and they don't even think of what they're doing as abusive because codependency is so normalized, and don't know how to stop, right? And on the other hand, in the white supremacist, capitalist, ableist patriarchy, especially in our individualistic American society, it's none of my business how much I hurt your feelings. I'm here to fuck bitches and get money. Right? And I circle that back to women having it a little bit easier than men do, because since they let us out of the kitchen, and I say let and us in quotation marks because Black women have been in the labor force since they kidnapped us and brought us here. What is a housewife, right? Since they let us out of the kitchen and vote and stuff, one sad side effect has been, instead of like an equalization of the sexes, women were just expected to do the man's job and the woman's job, especially if they chose not to get married, you know? There's no such thing as support. Oh, we are not here to talk about how shitty our government is, and like, why do we pay taxes if they don't ensure access to healthcare or housing or food for everybody. And I mean everybody. Rights trickle up, not down. So until Black trans women have access to healthcare and housing and organic farmers market groceries, not just barely enough, but like enough to entertain their friends post quarantine. I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied until Black trans women and girls feel safe, until Indigenous women stop disappearing for no reason. No reason. We still don't know why. Until everybody's safe, ain't none of us safe, honestly. And so instead of being raised to think of each other as this collective, we think of each other as competition, and all of that comes from patriarchy, this whole like zero-sum game of there's got to be losers and winners, and we can't all just get along, right? I just wanted to take out my hair. I just wanted to take down my hair and do a sound check. Reading bell hooks. This is why I'm reading the book instead of just pontificating about how to bring men into feminism. How am I bringing men into feminism? With my boobs. I'm trying, you know. It took me a long time to love my breasts, and now that I do, I want to share them with the world. Come on. I also really like my hair. You kind of can't see it with the back of this chair, but look, I'm trying. I'm just trying. Smells good too. I made my own coconut oil mixture with rosemary and lavender. No, I won't sell it to you, but I can teach you how to make it if you really want to know. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I'm sick of recommending this book to men and them never reading it. You know who you are. Please don't call me. Still don't trust you as a friend. But, you know, maybe you'll read it if a beautiful Black woman does all the labor for you naked. The data suggests that when a woman does it for you, men are more likely to do something. So here I am. I want to make this, oh my God, these bangs. She bangs. I want to make this book accessible to people who don't read or can't read. One of the most attractive men I ever had mediocre sex with literally had no books in his house. I almost left. But whatever, maybe I'm a snob, right? Like, and there's a difference between not having the access to the education so that you can read, but people who can read and don't, that's a huge turnoff. And you know what? Now there really is no excuse. We've got audiobooks. You can listen to bell hooks in the gym. You can listen to it on your phone while you're cooking or cleaning or doing the dishes or something. Because men do that now, right? Like a lot of what she's going to say in this book, God damn. I can't look at the camera and look at myself at the same time. And I am actually trying to style my hair a little bit. So you're going to have to forgive me excuse me while I feel myself. Girl, look at this hair. Who was I talking about? Men. Why am I talking about men? I'm talking about men because they're half of the population of the planet. And we really do need y'all. Like, I know women, especially Black women, no offense. And goddamn, Indigenous women, when you see them, because they're like literally an endangered species, and I'm not being funny when I say that, but like Black and Indigenous women and femmes, it's easy to look at us and say, oh, they got this. The world is going to be fine. Look at all these Black women. If they can thrive, there's nothing to worry about. False. We thrive in spite of a white supremacist, capitalist, ableist patriarchy. And It shouldn't have to be as hard as it is just to get up and go to the grocery store. It is not fun or easy to have had way more interactions with men that are disgust is the see emotional intelligence disgusting. Just disgusting. And then you do like really loving eye to eye, just like mutual respect. Like, what do I want from men? Honestly, I don't want anything from them, and that makes me sad. Truly, I think y'all are great to look at sometimes. um some of my favorite yoga instructors are men. uh some of my best friends have been men, and then they disappear, and for a while I thought, like, oh, well, if we just add sex to the mix, then, like, he won't disappear and we can still be friends, right? No! It's weird. I don't understand, y'all. I have two lovers at the moment. Neither of them are men. Praise God. But I haven't lost hope. Um, what else do I want to say? Oh, I know. I'll read the back. Oh, girl. Girl. Just the first line. Give me a second. Men cannot change if there are no blueprints for change. Men cannot love if they are not taught the art of loving. Love is vital to maleness, to the spiritual and emotional wholeness men seek. I know y'all are out here seeking wholeness. That friend, that ex-friend, literally, please don't call me. You know exactly who you are. Poor dear. He was one of those artistic boys. Not autistic, artistic. I mean, autistic boys too, right? Like, anybody who doesn't fit the white supremacist, capitalist, ableist, imperialist, I almost forgot imperialist, patriarchal standard is literally persecuted. And that includes men. That includes men. Like, yes, I center trans women and women and people of color in all of my advocacy. But I don't want to leave out men and male identified people because they need wholeness, probably more so than women. Because like I said, when the first and second and third waves of feminism came, women were afforded the rights to behave like men. And so you're more likely to find a female-bodied person who has more integrated sense of self. We are forced to embrace both our masculinity and our femininity. Men are forced to only embrace their masculinity and shun and hide everything feminine about themselves. And thank God for the NBs, for the non-binary people out here, the babies. Let them save the world, please. Like, gender is literally a construct. Sex is real. I meant, like, chromosomal sex and, like, genitalia sex. But gender is so fluid. Truly. Here I go on my tangents. Expect a lot of tangents. I have only gone this far on the back of the book. I have a lot to say about it, and that's why I'm making this series. So, let's run that back. Men cannot change if there are no blueprints for change. Men cannot love if they are not taught the art of loving. Love is a vital to maleness, to the spiritual and emotional wholeness men seek. Oh, right. I brought up Homeboy because he was seeking spiritual and emotional wholeness from, like, the red pill alpha male guys. And he didn't know any better. He didn't know that he was trying to cure himself of psychological patriarchy with more psychological patriarchy. Bell Hooks argues that you can cure yourself of, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, that you can cure yourself of psychological patriarchy with feminism. What? Feminism? Doesn't that just mean reverse patriarchy with women on top? No, no. Feminism means equality among all of the sexes, including the ones in between. Oh my God, there is such a thing as a non-binary sex. That's my favorite argument against like transphobes. You know, be transphobic all you want in the comments. You're wrong. You're just wrong. Like, there's no such thing as a binary. There's such a thing as biodiversity. That is the natural order of everything. Ooh, ooh. I've been reading a long time, and sometimes you can just glance down and see the whole sentence, and that happened to me. So in one split second, I saw this. Everyone needs to love and be loved, even men. But to know love, men must be able to look at the ways that patriarchal culture keeps them from knowing themselves, from being in touch with their feelings, from loving. In The Will to Change, Bell Hooks gets to the heart of the matter and shows men how to express the emotions that are a fundamental part of who they are, whatever their age, marital status, ethnicity, or sexual orientation. Pause. Gay men are not exempt. No, ma'am. Some of y'all have like the worst internalized misogyny because, like I said, everything feminine about you has been bullied and just attacked from birth. That if you naturally do have kind of a mix and or are just like, there is such a thing as a very manly, very gay man. Like just same-sex attraction is, people are so afraid of it. I don't know. I'm not a gay man, but I live with a male-bodied person who used to have sex with a man. We're all giving up on you. Seriously. Y'all need to get it together because you're really not worth it. Yeah, gay men can still very much hate women and can still very much reenact patriarchal fuckery. And they do. And they do. And they do. And they do. With trademark candor, that's a good word. With trademark candor and fierce intelligence, Hooks addresses the most common concerns of men, such as fear of intimacy and loss of their patriarchal place in society, in new and challenging ways. She believes men can find the way to spiritual unity by getting back in touch with the emotionally open part of themselves, and lay claim to the rich and rewarding inner lives that have historically been the exclusive province of women. A brave and astonishing work, The Will to Change is designed to help men reclaim the best part of themselves. Publishers Wiki, just kidding, Publishers Weekly says, Will to Change is a fierce denunciation of patriarchy and a clarion call to the uncommitted to align themselves with visionary radical feminism. Visionary radical feminism. So, yeah, I think this is covered in chapter 1, but I was going to call it regular feminism, but white feminism. Not all white feminists, but white feminism is basically what the men fear, and that is give women the same power that men have always had. Visionary radical feminism says, hey, we don't want the power that men have because that kind of power necessitates that power is taken from somebody else. And we envision, that's the visionary part, a radical shift in the way that we organize society in a non-hierarchical way. It is possible. It is possible. Just use your imagination. Even if it's not possible, think about what if it were possible. Okay, what if instead of this reality TV competition where we all compete to see who can make the most money, we assess our resources and do the work of making sure that everybody's good. George Weinberg, author of Why Men Won't Commit. Ooh, yes, I like the way he puts this. He calls A Will to Change a compelling study of the culture's unfairness to men. I've been trying to say that this whole time. Culture is unfair to y'all. I was just making sure my hand was still in the shot, and oh my god. Look. I never said this is going to be professional. I never said this is going to be polished. I just said I was going to be in my lingerie reading bell hooks, okay? So far, I've made it from the front cover to the back cover. Ooh, Da Vinci reference, by the way. It's like The Will to Change. This is God. This is Adam. I can't stop looking at myself. Oh my God. Hopefully you feel the same way, so that y'all will listen to me read this cover to cover. We're doing it. We're doing it. I will make some kind of notation that I am going off book when I go off book. And other than that, I'm just going to read it. Ooh, what did Maya Angelou have to say? Each offering from Bell Hooks is a major event. She has so much to give us. Maya Angelou. Oh, yes. National best-selling author of All About Love and Rock My Soul. I mean, I'm not reading the list of other books that she's written. They're all good. Let me read you the ones that I have read. Surprised I haven't read Ain't I a Woman? Black Women and Feminism. Killing Rage, Ending Racism. Got through about a quarter of that before I had to put it down. All About Love, New Visions. Pretty sure I read that. No. I read Communion, The Female Search for Love. I thought it only fair after reading this one. This one's better. And I own Salvation. While I'm on the intro video, let me go ahead and read you the contents, because honestly, I got so much life just from reading the titles of the chapters. Look. Tonight I'm going to read the preface. Preface is called About Men. Chapter 1. Wanted. Men Who Love. Chapter 2. Understanding Patriarchy. Chapter 3. Being a Boy. Chapter 4. Stopping Male Violence. Chapter 5. Male Sexual Being. Okay, because like, why... Even in Bell Hooks' book about men, masculinity, and love, violence and sex are right next to each other. I feel like she knew that this was a natural-ass segue. Male sexual being that doesn't involve raping people. That was my rapist joke. Welcome. Rape jokes so last several centuries. Rapist jokes, very apropos. Very on brand, very 2020, very 2021, very Me Too, very like, we're dragging rapists, okay? Look, they deserve to be dragged. Like, rapists are people, but I don't know. Let me know if you've ever sexually assaulted somebody. Do you feel like your humanity has like, that you lost a couple of human points? It's like it's such a violation of someone's bodily autonomy that yeah, when we say abolish police, what we mean is if you're out here raping people, there's something wrong with you. Yes, there's something wrong with society, and the police is part of that. What screams violent dominance harder and louder than the fucking cops? Literally, the fucking cops, they rapists too, look. So, Yeah, like if you're caught raping somebody, we do maybe lock you up, but we lock you up in some kind of group therapy situation where we talk about like, who hurt you? Why do you feel the need to hurt somebody else in what is arguably the worst way you can hurt somebody? Because sex is supposed to be fun. Sex is supposed to be pleasurable. Sex is supposed to be consensual. If it's not consensual, it's not sex. Somebody who doesn't give you an excited, enthusiastic yes, not sex. It's something else. Right. Stopping male violence. Chapter 5, male sexual being. Chapter 6, work. What's love got to do with it? I like that. Chapter 7, feminist manhood. That is arguably the climax. Chapter 8, popular culture, media, and masculinity. Oh, wait, media masculinity, not media and masculinity. She's just talking about the masculinity of the media. Chapter 9, oh, this is my climax, healing male spirit. Did I tell y'all I'm a yoga teacher? It's whatever. Chapter 10, reclaiming male integrity. Yes, I thought it was identity, but I was like, did she say integrity? What is male integrity? I should just turn my ringer off. I should also just read the book, Ashley. Oh, last one. Chapter 11, loving men. One thing you gotta know about me, I love a double entendre. Hi, my name is Ashley and I'm a Gemini. Loving men. Does she mean men who are loving? Or is she answering my question, how do we love men? Spoiler alert, and I have read that chapter at least 3 times. The answer is you can't unless they are in the process of undoing their own internalized patriarchy. You cannot have love and dominance at the same time. Like, you can't love someone who's dominating you and you can't love someone whom you are dominating, right? Back to the library. This one is a lot less accessible. This is a textbook. It was referenced to me in my Essential Psychotherapies textbook in grad school, and it is called The Bonds of Love. Was it? Wait, don't tell me. Bonds of Love, Psychoanalysis, Feminism, and the Problem of Domination. So good. So good. So meaty. So juicy. So delicious. And this was published in 1988. It still slaps. Why do people submit to authority and even derive pleasure from the power others have over them? What is the appeal of domination and submission? And why are they so prevalent in erotic life? Why is it so difficult for men and women to meet as equals? Why indeed do they continue to recapitulate the positions of master and slave? In The Bonds of Love, noted feminist theorist and psychoanalyst Jessica Benjamin explains why we accept and perpetuate relationships of domination and submission. She reveals that domination is a complex psychological process which ensnares both parties in bonds of complicity, and shows how it underlies our family life, our social institutions, and especially our sexual relations, in spite of our conscious commitment to equality and freedom. Girl, patriarchy runs so deep. It really does. So, 2 scholars and myself agree that you cannot have love where you have domination. And in the imperialist, capitalist, white supremacist, ableist patriarchy, you must have domination. That's the point, is to stack everyone in this like pyramidal hierarchy bullshit. There's like, please stop. Especially if you're gonna give us that double think shit about how all people are created equal. You know, you can do or be anything you want, except if you don't have generational wealth, you're not going to get generational wealth unless you marry into it. Oh God, I'm tired. Once I got into the big ideas, I immediately lost a lot of energy, right? Like it's, when you think of how much the world needs to change, it can be really overwhelming. And so the last several years, I've been working on being the change that I want to see in the world. I've been working on addressing my own internalized patriarchy, my own will to dominate, um, my own codependent, hierarchical ways of interacting with the world, in relationships. I've done a lot of work learning to love without owning somebody, on building non-sexual intimacy with men, and women and non-binary people. Like, yeah, we live in a society. We live in a society that prioritizes sex and sexual relationships over everything. And there's just so much more to human life. And I feel like men get it the worst, honestly. When it comes to sex being the only way you can interact with people, men have that message shoved down their throats the most, gay and straight men. But in this like third wave feminist hookup culture, women are doing it too. And raise your hand if you're fulfilled emotionally. Like sexual fulfillment, I said it once, I'll say it again. For women, it's like hailing a cab. If you're a woman who's attracted to men, like, just ask. You you won't get past 3 people before somebody says yes. I'm serious. I don't care what you look like either. Get yourself to a place where you feel pretty, because I know not everybody's feeling my look today, and that's fine because I think I look amazing. My girlfriend's over here with a ring, like coming over with a ring light later, and I'm like, girl, why? We good over here. Um, no, I'm really on a tangent, and I've probably got like low blood sugar brain. This was fun. This was about as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Maybe a little easier. Way more fun than I thought it was going to be. I look forward to seeing how great this microphone works. Oh my gosh, what does it look like I'm doing? Because there it is. Oh my god, so cute. Maybe maybe I'll have my little microphone in the shot for when I actually start reading the actual book. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, comment, like, subscribe, and comment. I did it, okay? I fucking did it. Leave me alone. Before I go any further, I want to make the major point. Um, this is so paramount, is that men are not the problem. I learned so many things reading that book, and now there's a fucking eyelash in my eye. Okay, is that gone? Oh, great. Now there's coconut oil in my face. Can I ignore this eyelash? We shall see. If I'm winking at you suggestively, it's because of the eyelash. What was I saying? Oh, cool. So I have a mirror right there. The monitor is right there. Camera is way the hell over here. And not even like facing me. Interesting. There we go. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, hi, boobs. What's up? That's right. They're supposed to be maybe the stars of the... No, Bell Hooks is the star of the show. Featuring my breasts. um, and that's what we're here to talk about. I hope this microphone works. Yeah, my microphone's over here too. Even in the before times, I didn't wear a lot of makeup, so forgive me. I am a virgin who can't drive. That was a Clueless reference. Oh my god. Like, it's the Mean Girls before Mean Girls for you youngins. Anyway, back to business. I mean, starting business. Ooh, what did Maya Angelou have to say? Each offering from Bell Hooks is a major event. She has so much to give us. Maya Angelou was not British. Oh, it's just me trying to be older. I can't do impressions. I'm just going to read it in my own voice. Preface is called About Men. About men. About men? About men. So, great. I have an hour worth of footage, and I'm not going to make an hour intro video. That's just silly. I mean, unless you just want to look at my breasts for an hour. And you can't even see all of my breasts. Okay, so we're going to lower the tripod. A lot of this is just going to be in the outtakes, which is so funny. I always loved outtake. Look how close this is. Oh my god, you can see my follicles. You can see my pores. You can see the fact that I'm not wearing foundation. Oh my god. Barefaced. Oh, what was that? That sketch, the Bad Bitches support group. I just want to be an okay bitch. I'm not trying to be a bad bitch. I just want to be an okay bitch. Oh no, you can see the junk underneath my bookshelf. I have so many bookshelves in my life. Yeah, but I like this angle. I like that you can see my jewelry and my books. Oh, you know I'm just gonna move that shit to the side. Ashley's not gonna put all that stuff away. I'm so tired. I'm thirsty. Wait. Yay, here they are. You know. Ugh. That is not part of the pattern of the lace. That's just this thing being old. Oh my god. Boobs. Oh my god, boobs. Okay. It'll just be this. Everybody donate money on my coffee account so I can afford decent lingerie. This is so weird because that's not mirrored. Right? Ah! Okay. We're done here. Oh my god. I'm suddenly super insecure about how raggedy my top is. Like, what is that? What? And that's not even the fucked up part. It's this one. I don't have nipples. Everybody leave me alone. There's no such thing. No such thing as nipples. Please don't flag me or whatever. Yeah, we're figuring out the framing. This is enough cleavage, right? We'll see. Maybe in the final thing, I'll lower the camera down. Please use condoms, people. I don't care if you're on PrEP. HIV is not the only STI out there. Look it up. Look at it. Look at how it bounces. Oh, my hair. I don't usually have it down, you guys. Who that woman? Harpo, who this woman? And she's like, oh, am I ruining the video? And I'm like, no, babe. Okay. Sid says we can leave in 30 minutes. She's watching a movie. Is that code for masturbating? Is that code for masturbating? Question mark. Why did you put it in quotation marks? Do you doubt that your friend is watching a movie? My phone was still taking dictation. And I own Salvation. Salvation? Black people in love. What? I have my nicest bookmark in here. Oh, and it's bookmarked on the chapter Cherishing Single Mothers. So cute.